Good morning, Manual High School. I'm Kristen Smith.
And I'm Quinn Bynum.
And thank you for tuning in to Manual AM.
Anyone interested in joining Executive Council can pick up an application from the Guidance Office or Room 339. Applications are due before April 1st.
The second annual Ballroom Dance at DuPont Manual is Saturday, March 19th from 7 to 10 p.m. in the freshman cafeteria. There will be a 17-piece live band, a free dance lesson, refreshments, and a silent auction to benefit a local charity.
Spanish Honor Society is accepting applications for new inductees. You can pick up an application form outside of room 239. Completed applications and $20 induction fee is due to Senior Pascual by March 31st.
Now here's Drew Fry with the weather forecast for today.
Good morning, Manual. I'm Drew Fry here with today's weather. The temperature will be in the 50s and 60s throughout the day with calm winds. The clouds will be covering the sun, but it should be dry for today. This break from the rain will end tomorrow as it will rain through most of the weekend, but it should be in the 60s and 70s. That's all for today. Back to you, Kristen and Quentin.
Last Tuesday was the first ever Manual Day of Service for the seniors. Here's Hannah Wilcutt and Leo Whelan.
Last Tuesday, while the rest of the school was taking the ACT, the seniors were participating in the first annual Senior Service Day.
The mayor had started a couple years ago trying to talk about a day of service for all institutions. And then Dr. Hargens got on it and has kind of challenged Jefferson County Public Schools to be more service-oriented and also to have a day of service. This idea really came from Miss Medley and actually Mr. Farmer.
I would say the purpose of this day was to get the seniors out of school for one of the last times that they'll be able to be out and actually to do something for their community, because otherwise they would just be at school sitting here for about 3 hours while the juniors take the ACT.
I participated in Senior Service Day because I felt like I would be much more productive outside of school than I would be in school. Knowing myself, I'd probably be sleeping or not being terribly productive with my time at school, whereas outside of school I could do work to actually help somebody, in this case my aunt, and just do something with my time.
I hope they gather the true spirit of what we're trying to do it and also give the seniors an opportunity to do something, for us to rely on them, for us to trust the seniors to be responsible enough to do something that's worthwhile to the community.
I went to a elementary school named Simple Elementary School, and I usually go there on Fridays to tutor after school, so I spent my entire day there. One thing about the day that really I took to heart was a little boy that I was helping in his math class. He's a first grader named Braden. He had asked me if I was coming there to his school tomorrow, and I had to tell him no because I couldn't come during the day like that. And he was so heartbroken, and he said, "But you're special to me because you helped me." And that was one of the best moments I think anyone could have had.
I went over to my aunt's house. She's currently recovering from a shoulder surgery, which debilitates her to a certain extent, actually pretty severely. Because she's downsizing, I went over to her house and helped her move a whole bunch of furniture.
I think I'd have to look at the authenticity, the sincerity with which people went at it. If they did it just to get out of school and put down something to get out of school, then obviously no, because I can't, or we can't give up a day of instruction for something like that if we're not going to take it serious. We hear students all the time saying, "Oh, I want to do this service," or "I want to get this service club started and do this." This is for various different types of motivation. Well, here we gave the opportunity.
I don't know if all the seniors actually participated in the Senior Service Day, but I know quite a few did. So I would say it's pretty even.
I definitely consider it a success because, there are probably some people who didn't use it for its intended purpose, but the people that did, there were good things that were done, and that is significantly more productive than nothing at all.
According to the attendance office, about half of all seniors turned in the required paperwork, but more than half were absent.
I know I signed quite a few educational enhancement forms, I know that, but to give you a hard number, I don't have that. I think it's a worthwhile project. I think we've just got to fine tune it to make it even better, to make it worthwhile.
Next year, I would probably advertise it more for the upcoming seniors.
If they decide to continue, I would consider having it be required to provide some proof other than their own handwritten response, whether it be that family member or that organization, somebody just signed off and said, yes, they did this. Just to give it a little more authenticity.
This has been Hannah Wilcott for Manual AM.
Haley Watson and Peter Champelli have a recap of the Trump rally that was held in Louisville last week.
The rally for Donald Trump last Tuesday, which was held at the downtown convention center, was significant in many ways for the city of Louisville and the students of Manual. Walking through the line, rally participants saw demonstrations as well as merchandise vendors, unbiased observers as well as outright supporters, but the most significant event took place inside the center.
We were waiting there, we got there around probably 2. So we were there for like 2 hours. So we didn't know when we were gonna start yet, and then Trump was probably speaking for about 10 minutes. We weren't really sure when we were gonna start, and then Mia was standing a little further ahead of us, and I guess someone from the someone tipped the Secret Service off, but they came over to her and started kind of chasing her through the crowd and grabbed her arm and threw her sign to the ground, and they were like, no homemade signs. And Mia was like, they have homemade signs, and they were like, you need to leave. And that's when we decided to start.
So illegal immigration wouldn't have been spoken about. It wouldn't have been.
The Louisville Youth Against Trump protest group, organized first on Facebook by HSU's Sarah Olive and Huda Jabbar as well as John A. Brown, was the first in a series of demonstrations that forced Donald Trump to pause in his speech. The Courier-Journal's Joseph Girth reports that the candidate stopped 6 or more times and asked security to escort people out.
The intention is that we will all rally together and wear the same the same colors and be seen as a group that is youth against Donald Trump, and we will hold signs during the event.
Yeah, I think that, especially since it's on Super Tuesday, I think that since he's focusing on Kentucky, which is a state who's having its caucus on Saturday, I think that he's pretty confident, with his leads in the states, whether that be good or bad. But I think that he's coming to Louisville, which is an interesting call. I know that Carson's going to Lexington. I don't think any other candidates are coming to Kentucky. I don't really know his strategy there, but maybe to swing some moderate voters.
We're hoping that the people at the Donald Trump rally will see us and realize that, people of color and people of different gender identities and different sexual orientations they do exist, and the youth are there, and they are against what Trump is saying, just, to be seen.
After the protest, the members of the Louisville Youth Against Trump say that the mission was a resounding success. And this kind of engagement, Johnny says, makes her feel better about the future of her country.
And then we got kicked out, and we were met by all of these other protesters, probably hundreds of other protesters who gave us high fives and told us that, it's important to take a stand for those sorts of things. And that made more of an impact on me, seeing all those people who were proud of us. That made more of an impact on me than all of those hateful people inside. And so honestly, I think as long as we have people who are willing to stand up for what they believe in, then I think we'll be okay politically.
For Manual AM, this has been Peter Champelli.
With prom less than a couple of months away, promposals are in full swing. Robbie Keys and I have the story.
With prom season quickly approaching, many Manual students are getting started with their promposals.
Well, my promposal happened during homecoming. It was at the pep rally for basketball homecoming, and they had a 3-point contest. And after the 3-point contest, Chris Gamber called down Chamber Sutton from the sophomore section. And I walked up with a sign, and it said, if you can shoot at least 1 3, you can go to prom with me. And at first I thought he wasn't going to make it. It took him 4 tries, but he made it at the end.
So I proposed to Sam in newspaper, like last year I did the same thing. So I had Riley Head come into newspaper and be like, Sam, I need to interview you really quickly about your mom being a teacher. And I didn't want me to do it because like I'm not a good liar. So I had Riley do it because she's really believable. So she brought him into Mr. Miller's sound studio so he wouldn't see anything. I brought his sister in the class, and then all of newspaper was just standing there. I had a poster, and it said, it was Lord of the Rings themed, because he really loves Lord of the Rings, and I'm a big fan too. And I thought it'd be kind of cute. So it said, one doesn't simply go into prom alone, which is a reference to the first Lord of the Rings movie. And I said, so will you be my precious date? Because like, my precious ring. And then I had a Nord's donut, because we go to Nord's a lot, and that was going to be the ring. So he came back, and I said, will you go to prom with me? And he was really embarrassed because he gets embarrassed a lot really easily.
I wasn't very embarrassed. It was like just a little bit, just because it was surprising and, and I didn't have any idea what was happening, but it was all right.
But it was cute, and he said yes. So
my promposal was at the Louisville men's basketball game, and on the jumbotron, like the screen in the middle of the arena, I wrote, Derek wanted to take a shot at prom with me, and then it was only up there for like 5 seconds, and so I like saw it and I like tapped him. I was like, Derek, look, and I didn't get his attention until it was already gone. But my sister was there and she was videoing it, so like he saw that it was there, he just didn't see it live.
And now we have a special Manual Am promposal for you.
Those are all of your announcements for today. Thanks for watching, and have a great weekend, Manual High School.